Tonight on the Rychnovsky Recap, it's the dog days of summer providing the ultimate aerial display. We build sand castles and more at Levis Commons. It's time to welcome the seniors back to Inverness as we get you ready for the Open. And the USA heads toward a World Cup title. Caution, control your excitement and temper too. It's the Rychnovsky Recap, and it starts right now. Get the U.S. Senior Open at Inverness starts a week from tomorrow and runs through final round Sunday on July 31st. Our coverage starts later in this very show and continues through the next couple of weeks as Northwest Ohio and the Inverness Club get set to host the major championship. Ryan Streby's two-run home run against Scranton Wilkes-Barre last night propelled the Hens to a 7-4 win over the Yankees' top farm club. It was Streby's second home run in 3 nights. Strebe and the Hens, offense looking, needing to play catch-up, down 6-1 at one point. And Muddy the Mudhead says, I've got faith in the Hens, Joe. I know you don't, but I do. I've got faith, too. That is my man, Jeff Salazar, with the home run to tie it in the bottom of the 9th. And then in the bottom of the 11th, Danny Worth, a window shot, and that's all he needs to do. That's the game-winning run. How about that? Hens come back from down 6-1 to win it. Beat the Yankees 3 out of 4, 7-6 the final. The countdown is on. Inverness and the U.S. Senior Open is on the clock. Judge Silverman is in the house. We're talking golf next. A week from tomorrow, many of the best senior golfers in the world, that does not include me, will be in Toledo for the U.S. Senior Open. You can get your tickets, by the way, by logging on to 2011USSeniorOpen.com or simply head to the nearest Kroger where you can get as much as $5 off. Our coverage starts tonight as tournament director Judge Silverman is in the house as we go one-on-one. Tomorrow will be 1 week out from the tournament. Just give us an idea. I mean, guys are going to start arriving a week from today. What it's been like getting this thing ready, and finally, from 2003 up to now, it's here. It's back again.
Yeah, it's exciting, Joe. It's about a 3-year project to put a championship of this size together. To build the volunteer organization. It's about 2,200 volunteers to put the sales and marketing effort together to raise the money. From our hospitality sponsors and ticket packages and advertising and that type of thing. So, it's about a 3-year project, and it's good to see it coming to fruition finally. Inverness is such a special place. The history and tradition of that club, all the championships they've hosted dating back to the 1920 U.S. Open. It's just exciting to be a part of it, and it's great for the community when Inverness lends itself to tournament golf.
How different is the 2011 version of the U.S. Senior Open from the 2003? Because there are a lot of challenges now that we didn't have back in 03 with the economy and everything else.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's different from that standpoint, but we don't have Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus in the field like we did, and we were so lucky. In 03, it was the last time they ever played in a USGA event, in a U.S. Senior Open. So we were pretty lucky to have them for their final one. But, to have Fred Couples coming back to Toledo and, so many other great names, Tom Lehman and Corey Pavin and Ben Crenshaw and Craig Stadler and Hale Irwin, Peter Jacobson, Nick Price, the list goes on, and all these guys have played at Inverness. The 93 and the 86 PGA Championships, the 79 Open. So it'll be great to have them back.
Let's talk about that too, because the goal here, I mean, we want to show off Toledo, show off Inverness, show off the golf community here. So eventually we get a U.S. Open back here.
No, I think that's a work in progress, and I think the club is doing everything they can to. Put their best foot forward. Obviously, Inverness helped shape the history of the U.S. Open. The 1920 U.S. Open was the first time the golf professionals were allowed in the clubhouse. S.P. Germain, the founder of the club, pushed for that. And it was Bobby Jones' first U.S. Open. It was Harry Vardon's last. And the 31 Open had the longest playoff ever. And the 57 Open was Nicklaus's first. And the 79 Open was Hale Irwin's. So they have a great story to tell, and but the competition is fierce for U.S. Opens, but we hope the USGA will do the right thing and bring an Open back to Northwest Ohio. I think the community and the club definitely deserve another U.S. Open. We've waited a long time, since 1979. I think the community offers everything the USGA is looking for in a host site from an infrastructure standpoint, from a history and tradition standpoint, from a golf course standpoint, and from a standpoint of being able to raise the revenue that they've become accustomed to generating. Toledo's perfectly located within 250 miles of so many major cities, from Chicago to Toronto to Louisville to Pittsburgh and all the cities in between there. So I think we have a great story to tell. And again, Joe, I hope the USGA will do the right thing and award Inverness another U.S. Open.
Is there a timetable for that, or is it something you just kind of wait it out? You see how this one goes and then kind of wait?
Well, we'll have those discussions, with the USGA, and it'll be up to them to tell us. They just awarded 2018 actually to Shinnecock, and 2019 is going to Pebble Beach. So
2020.
2020, which would be an interesting year. It would be 100 years after S.P. Germain convinced the USGA to come to Inverness, and 100 years after he convinced them to allow the golf professionals in the clubhouse. So we'll keep pushing, and the club has such a great relationship with the USGA. We're all hopeful.
What are some of the challenges this year?
Well, it's always the economy is the challenge for any business. But I will say the response and the support that we've received from the business community in Northwest Ohio has been tremendous in my mind. We've reached our budgeted goal in our corporate hospitality packages, and now we're on our way to reaching our goal in the ticket packages. So once again, Northwest Ohio has stepped up to the plate, and so has Southeastern Michigan. We've received a lot of support from Southeastern Michigan, but predominantly from Toledo-based companies, Findlay-based companies, have really stepped up to the plate to help us, Joe.
What makes golf so special in this community? I mean, you're a guy that started the Jamie Farr and the long-lived life of that tournament, and it will continue for at least 3 more years after this year's Senior Open is complete. But what makes golf so special? Why did a young Judd Silverman come back to Toledo, back to his stomping grounds, and really put golf on the map here?
It's an easy answer for me, Joe. Inverness. The history and tradition that Inverness started back in 1920, of hosting these U.S. Opens and PGAs, that certainly was a great memory for me growing up to attend the U.S. Amateur in '73 and the '79 Open. And this community has supported golf for a long time, and we have such a wonderful asset in Inverness that can really attract these major championships. There's a lot of communities in this country that wish they had an Inverness with a long history and tradition of hosting championships. It'll be a tremendous week for the community, a lot of fun, and the last thing I'll say is kids 17 and under get in free, so we encourage parents and grandparents to bring their grandkids and their kids out to the championship to see the greatest senior golfers in the world.
There you go. It should be a lot of fun. Judd, you're going to have a busy week. It starts a week from tomorrow. Good luck, and we'll be talking to you all week long.
Sounds good, Joe. Thanks so much for your time.
All righty, I can't wait. Time to pause for a moment, but grab the sunscreen because we're heading to the beach. Sort of. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Chris Spielman. You're watching a Rychnovsky Recap.
All right, thank you, Chris. That is good stuff indeed. It might not be designed for a day at the beach, but last weekend out at Levis Commons, people came from miles to check out the latest sand sculptures. They call it Sandtastic. I call it a great opportunity for this week's Fox Challenge.
You get to build things like sandcastles.
But at Sandtastic, they're building a lot more than just that. This hippo is one of the amazing sand sculptures. Kristen Evans won the amateur division.
Actually, this girl that I work with called me one day and was like, have you heard of Sandtastic? And I said, absolutely not. And she's like, well, I signed you up for it because I'm an art major.
So Kristen and her teammates had exactly 1 hour to create a figure out of sand.
Well, it started off as a big cylinder, and I just started piling sand on top and taking it from the sides. This is a cylinder of some damp sand. This is exactly how it started off. Everybody's looked like this, and these are the only tools that you get to work with.
But before long, a penguin would soon take shape.
This is a penguin. I did it completely from my head. I didn't have any papers or anything like that.
You didn't have any models?
No models, nothing at all. I didn't even look up a penguin before I started.
His name is Louie.
And once I got it formed, I did the sides here for his little flippers, and I have some feet in there. I don't know if you can really see them. And then once I started to sculpt the head, there was actually like clay inside the sand, so I tried to make it so his eyes were black. And then we didn't know what to do for the top, so we put a little top hat on him. And then with the leftover clay, made a little baby penguin here, which this one was a lot easier. Hey, Joe, do you think you can make a sand sculpture? Take the Fox Challenge.
Why, sure. I love the sand. Doing what?
Jamie.
Jamie, you got your foot. Oh, look what I got from Jamie. Boy, that's nice. Isn't that nice?
That is nice.
Oh, wow.
Very
Thank you.
treasure.
Well, thank you, Jamie. I'm going to put that right here. How's that sound?
Sand is very good sand to use. It's easy to pack up. It's the perfect amount of water in it.
Speak for yourself. Mine's not coming out.
Your sand's too dry.
That's too dry. But even so, were you kind of excited or what?
Yes, no, I was very excited. It was a great opportunity to work with sand I've never had before.
All right, you ready for some football? Whoa! The Perrysburg All-Stars are. We're back in a moment. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for some football, Chris. There we go. Thank you very much. High school football returns to Northwest Ohio. It's the regional all-star game in Perrysburg. And some good news for Ohio State fans and Chris Spielman. Yeah, as he weighs in on the Bucks. As we rewind with Ralphie's, because upon further review... On Tuesday, many of the top high school players in the state from last year strapping on the pads and working out, some for the very last time as they prepare for Friday night's All-Star game in Perrysburg. And on Wednesday, former Ohio State Buckeye Chris Spielman in town for a breast cancer benefit and to talk a bit about Buckeye football and the scandal that surrounds it.
I think Coach had to decide what was best for the university, and I think he did make the best decision for the university. Is it fair? No, but what is? The sanctions will probably get added on to by the NCAA. I don't know what. Maybe a couple of scholarship reductions. We'll see. I think Gene Smith did what he thought was right and fair, but the NCAA is going to probably take a hard look at it, and I think they're making a conscious effort to throw tougher penalties down because of all the problems that have been prevalent in college football.
And on Thursday, in a couple weeks, Toledo will be sending a bunch of local athletes to the Junior Olympics. That's James Freeman from Central Catholic working out. He qualified in 3 events. Start High School's Quincy Willis will be in the long jump, as well as Toledo Christian's Rowan Shaw. And D'Angelo Sharpley from Bowser, he qualified in the 800 meters. The competition takes place in 2 weeks at Wichita State. And on Friday, high school football's back. It's the Northwest Regional All-Star Game in Perrysburg. How about Whitmer's Alex Palicki hooking up with Holgate's Reed Waisner? That's good for a 25-yard score, but that's about all the offense for the black team. This game goes to the gold, 17-6, the final.
I mean, it was fun. All week, this team actually came together very well. I mean, there's no egos. We just came out here, just a bunch of senior guys just that love football. We came out here and we got to win.
I mean, it was a fun game. It's not really important. It's just how to have fun. It's a good experience, like going to college, you know, get out here one last time.
And on Saturday, the Senior Open might not be the best golf in town. This might be. It's disc golf, as athletes from the Lucas County Special Olympics were giving it a try. It's a clinic out at Ottawa Park, showing the athletes the techniques and keeping their scores low. Disc golf is kind of like real golf, except played with a Frisbee. Organizers say it's a great opportunity to introduce people to a brand new sport. And that's upon further review. Our final stop is upon us, but we cool off on these dog days of summer. Who let the dogs out? Stay with us. We're right back after this. Tonight, it's hot out there. Temperatures again this week will approach 100 degrees. So in the dog days of summer, the dogs take center stage with a great way to cool off. Yeah, who let the dogs out? Who? Remember that? Remember that? It's out at Anderson's this weekend in Maumee. It's the ultimate air dog show. The concept is pretty simple. You get your dog to run down a 40-foot dock and jump into a 30,000-gallon pool and get the most distance possible.
But then you have the other dogs that are high-flying, fast-running dogs that don't care what they jump in, and that's the kind of way you want your dog. You want them wild and crazy.
In case you're wondering, folks, that was indeed Milt Wilcox, the former Major League Baseball pitcher. He is now involved with the ultimate Air Dogs. That, my friends, is really cool, no pun intended, stuff. All right, that is the recap. I want to remind you, a week from tomorrow, the U.S. Senior Open starts. Our coverage started tonight. We'll have reports at 6:30 and then again at Fox News at 10 o'clock all this week leading up through the Open. It's Golf Central now on Fox Toledo. That is the recap. I'm Joe Rychnovsky. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. So long, my friends, and have a great evening. Lights out.
Bye, Joe.
Lights out. There we go. This party's over. So long.